Hey guys, alright, today we are back with another Mark Felton Productions video, this time SS Werewolves, the true story. Now, Mark Felton is a historian, so he's trustful. I'm not gonna have any issues with this video. I just have no clue about who the SS Werewolves are, so I'm not gonna really be able to provide much information additionally to it in 5 minutes. So really this is just gonna be me learning about the SS Werewolves from Mark Felton, a World War II historian. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just enjoy it together, learn together. Yeah, let's dive right in. Whoop, that's loud. I always forget how loud his intros are. I feel like I say that for every.
The idea of creating some kind of behind-the-lines German resistance organization originated with Reichsführer SS Heinrich Himmler. The original concept was something akin to Otto Skorzeni's commandos, highly trained and well-armed uniform formations, rather than Nazi partisans. Himmler chose SS Obergruppenführer Hans Adolf Potzmann to oversee the organization in autumn 1944, after the German defeat in Normandy had apparently shown him the writing on the wall for Nazi.
That's pretty late to start having a new contingent of special soldiers.
Nazi Germany. Interestingly, the Allies were thinking along the same lines as Himmler, and US analysts reported in January 1945 that the Germans were preparing stay-behind forces in preparation for the Allied invasion of Germany. The British and Americans were fairly concerned about a protracted guerrilla campaign behind their lines. Further proof of German intentions seemed to be confirmed when Propaganda Minister Dr. Goebbels made a fiery speech to the German people on the 23rd of March 1940.
Now, I do have to ask a question. Kind of curious what the general consensus is here. Should we consider Goebbels and Mengele as doctors? Because I don't think now Goebbels is different than Mengele because Goebbels didn't, Goebbels was a doctor of a different sort. But Mengele's doctorship and his research is horrendous, and I think it's, at least the theories that he was trying to prove and the theories that he have are, of course, I don't think they're true or whatever. And they've been discredited, and of course the means to which he did to conduct his research are not credible ways to conduct research. So should we even refer to them as doctors at this point? I feel like that gives them too much credit for how horrible they were as people. I mean, Goebbels, let's be real here. A lot of the propaganda that Goebbels used and the means to which he used the propaganda. Modern day propaganda has its roots with Goebbels because he was so effective at brainwashing people that people use that today for, honestly, basic marketing too, I would argue. This propaganda has its roots in propaganda, of course. It's oversimplifying marketing and propaganda and whatnot, but I think you know what I mean.
This speech became known as the Werewolf speech, when Goebbels exhorted every German to fight to the death against the invader. The propaganda ministry organized Radio Werewolf, which began broadcasting on the 1st of April 1945. The show was opened with the sound of a wolf howling and exhorted fighting to the death. These broadcasts unsettled Allied forces further, making troops mistrustful of German civilians.
God, what kind of stance was that from Goebbels? He was like this? He didn't have his hands closer to his hips, he had them more up towards his ribs. What the fuck?
General Potzmann apparently took some measures to turn Himmler's and Goebbels' idea into a reality. A Werewolf Central Training Center was established at a castle near Erkelenz, training batches of 200 older Hitler youths and some SS volunteers in each intake. Each regional Gauleiter was ordered to draw up lists of potential recruits for the werewolves, who were then to be trained at locations in the Rhineland or around Berlin. The entire force numbered, apparently, about 5,000, but they were short of weapons, equipment, and training. Some caches of weapons and explosives were created, but most were found by the Soviets or the Allies, while the organization broke down into unrelated or coordinated cells or even individuals who committed some acts of sabotage or assassination against the Allies. The Americans arrested several cells that claimed to be part of Werwolf, groups of servicemen hiding out in remote places, some with US uniforms and kit. But it is clear today that Werwolf was really more of a propaganda success than a physical reality. Some operations have been claimed as werewolf activities. In March 1945, Himmler ordered the assassination of the American-appointed mayor of Aachen, Franz Oppenhoff, who was duly dispatched by an SS hit squad on the 25th of March. Most assassinations and attacks were in reality conducted by regular German troops or SS in battle conditions, but Goebbels' Werwolf radio was happy to claim responsibility in order to sow alarm and confusion in the Allied ranks.
That's effective. That's honestly kind of terrifying too.
Unfortunately, this resulted in reprisals by Allied troops that, according to historians, killed between 3,000 and 5,000 Germans. Collective punishments, fines and curfews existed in West Germany until 1948. In East Germany it was far worse. The Soviets branded all Hitler Youths as potential werewolves, and more than 10,000 were sent to special camps, hundreds were shot, and in one horrendous case an entire town, Demmin, was burned down, resulting in hundreds of suicides among the population. By the end of 1945, the United States herded 100,000 German civilians into basic camps as a security measure to prevent werewolf activities. The British also mounting reprisals when werewolf activities were suspected. In the final analysis, Himmler's idea of a uniformed army behind Allied lines failed to materialize. Dr. Goebbels' effective propaganda ensured that the paranoid Allies and Soviets came down hard on any German who resisted, citing the Werwolf organization as the reason. Goebbels only succeeded in unnecessarily killing yet more Germans when the war was almost over. Werwolf was, in the final analysis, a complete failure. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe.
I would disagree there. It seems like it kind of achieved its goal. It sowed confusion. I mean, of course, unless, you know, you take the goal of the werewolves is to continue fighting back and keep the German Reich, I guess, independent of Allied and Russian forces, then it failed in that regard. But if we look at it from the propaganda perspective and say that it was entirely there to sow confusion and chaos and distrust between peoples, then it succeeded, I would argue, because it made the Americans and Brits and French and the Russians not trust the German civilians because they were afraid that they wanted to lock down on potential werewolf resistance. So I think it kind of worked. It met one of its goals. It obviously did not meet the other. But yeah, Mark Felton, you know, I got nothing to add, nothing to say here. He did his work. He knows what the fuck he's doing. He's a fucking historian. He knows his shit. So yeah, that's all I have to add here at the end. Just a slight disagreement with the conclusion, but yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.